Welcome, we're talking about La Lune at Town Hall 10, and yes, it still works, guys. So don't think it doesn't work, because it seriously works. Now, how going about this sort of strategy? Now, if you see these sort of island bases, this is a common thing. Now, how do you determine what side to enter on a base? Well, guess what the king and queen are going to do? This whole section here is clearing a path for the queen. The baby dragon was for funnel. The king is just tanking for the queen, and then he's going to wall break in, this time using a golem for tank. Now, sometimes on these bases, you can actually wall break in and not have to use a golem for tank, but he understood that, you know what, if he didn't have a golem for tank, it would have been dire troubles indeed. Dire troubles indeed. The queen would not have gotten as much. Now, the queen would have still, with her ability, gotten a decent amount, but probably not the enemy queen. With this kind of wall break in on the island Inferno, the queen ability was able to get so much down. The Inferno, the enemy queen, and getting some hits on the Expo and a couple wizard towers. Now, we already know there's a funnel. He didn't get down a single air defense. Now, you might be thinking, well, he's La Looning. Why didn't he get down air defense? Well, he got down quite a bit with a suicide hero. Pretty much. A little funnel troops, but not much. So he's just going to have to clear out the rest of this base using hounds and loons. And he does a great job at getting this down. Now, look at this great pathing here. Unfortunately, he didn't have loons split off to go to the air defense. That could have cost him in the end, but because he had enough loons there at the beginning, he got the job down. Now, look, let me pause it here. Why did he enter this hound here at 9 o'clock now? Now, why didn't he bring it in sooner? Well, he noticed he put a good indication to bring in your other side, your last hound, is when, say, the first air defense drops. Now, you see this air defense at 6, it dropped already, and the loons were shifting over to this other one, more towards 8. That's a good indication. Drop the third hound and then bring in your side funnel hounds, and that is exactly what he did. If you're a little unsure, like when you put your hounds in, I always like to do it. If you see an air defense drop, that's a good indication to bring in your other one. Now, will it always be that way? Of course not. But you notice a lot of attacks are like that because you're kind of working in unison with your troops. And he crushed this base very handily, and he didn't have to take down a single air defense. Now, you don't have to take down air defenses as long it depends on the objective. He decided to go for the queen, and he saw a nice kill squad using a couple baby dragons for funnel and mainly the king and queen to get down so much value. Not just the enemy queen or Inferno, but they got down some wizard towers and things of that sort. So Mudkey, he's like, I'm going to be like boom. He's going to be like boom. Mudkey, the man from Germany. Yes, he is from Germany. Right? Yeah, no, I know he is. Anyway, showing us how it's done with a substantial amount of loons left and smacking this base to Kingdom Come. And there you go, using a nice golem. Kind of a go Lalo, it looks like. Yeah, go Lalo with a golem tanking on the kill squad. So very nicely done from his part. I've got one more for you using the Lalo. It's still here, guys. Do not find that it's not still here. This time, a little bit different army composition. Now, already you know what's going to be happening. He's going to be using his heroes for some objective work, but mainly it's a La Lune. He's got quite a bit of La Lune going. And he doesn't even he's not even going to bring bowlers. He's not bringing jump. So the only job of the king and queen here is one, to take out the enemy queen, and he's going to wall break in very nicely right coming soon. Here comes the wall breakers. King is tanking in front. He's clearing the path for the queen, and so the queen steps behind. Now, if you don't know about the strategy, it works very nicely. It takes some practice, I will admit. You got to learn how to funnel. You got to learn how king and queen path. But the king was there getting the job done. And look, as the queen steps up, she's going to use her ability and take down enemy queen right now. Look at that, right before the hound comes out. And that is a beautiful kill squad, hero charge, suicide hero, whatever call you, many names, and getting very nicely. Now this time, look, he got an air defense down and the queen down, but there's 2 Infernos up. So how do you determine what strategy to use? Well, the objective that Fahim thought was best, and you know, I'm sure they planned it out, was to get the enemy queen down. It would be hard to use some skellies in there. There are some wizard towers and within range of the Inferno, so it could be very difficult to use a skelly spell. So he was like, you know what, I'm just going to get the queen in air defense and a couple wizard towers down, and that is exactly what happened. Or one wizard tower down, I should say, and then just going to La Lune the rest. Now funneling, we already know you got to enter in on this 3 side. I guess you could have entered in on 6 if you wanted, but he chose to go from 3. He just felt the pathing was a bit better this way, especially he's just kind of circling around the base. He understood the pathing, they wouldn't drift off to this queen pad. He saw that the pathing was there, that they wouldn't split off too much. And then the final loons are going to be coming in on this Inferno, and he's got a freeze for it and taking this base down very, very nicely indeed. Now, could you have entered at 6? Actually, we might have to go back and rewatch it and see the best funneling because, you know, obviously he planned this base for a while. But knowing how his 3 o'clock entry worked and it was already pathed out for him by the heroes, I do like the 3 o'clock entry a lot. You notice, I'll put a replay on this so we can see his kind of landing strip, you could say, on the walk. But let me just look at this. So again, he cleared out this section right here, and then he noticed, look, if he brings in the loons here, they're going to path from the cannon, they're going to go to the sweepers, and if you came in at 6 o'clock, you would have to deal with 1 sweeper. Coming in at 3 o'clock, you don't have to deal with the sweeper. Plus, look at the pathing. See how they enter? They go sweeper, expo, expo. They're not going to drift off over here. They're not going to split. And you don't have to deal with the sweeper as well. They're going to go here, and he's going to clear out this Inferno. Then they're going to sweep around at 12. And then they're going to come down to this final section and freeze this last Inferno. And the reason why you don't have to freeze the first Inferno is because he's got the hounds for tanking. So that's why you don't freeze the first Inferno, because you have more hounds up at the beginning of the raid than at the latter part of the raid, and so on the latter part of the raid you save the freeze. So that was the pathing for that, and actually that's why he came in from 3. Not to deal with the sweeper. Very nice plan, very nice strategy. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. And get on out there, try that Law Loon out, try practicing the kill squad as far as the king and queen, coming in on one of these kind of Inferno sides, breaking in with some wall breakers, king in front. Give it a go, take some practice, but you can get the job done. I believe in you, and I believe in that you can do it. And I think that is it, and I shall end it with a big fat thank you for watching. Truly appreciate it. If you want to support me, please support me. I need the help because, yeah, it takes a lot of work. So I'm going to ask it. And if you want to Twitch me, get on Twitch. That would be great. Twitter, I'm on Twitter. For updates and things like that, come follow as well. Links are in the description. All the good stuff. And Halo out.